Assalamu alaikum student mathematics 4024. Welcome to Maths Guru. Student, one more question on the topic of kinematics, and this time we have a speed time graph. And again in the last part we have to convert the speed time graph into the distance time graph. So let's just look at the solution of this question. The question says that a cyclist accelerates uniformly from a speed of u meters per second and to a speed of 3 u meters per second in the time of 10 seconds. So we have a journey in the form of a speed time graph. The cyclist at the start has a speed of u meters per second and then accelerating to a speed of 3 u meter per second in 10 seconds. In the first part, we have to find an expression in terms of u for the acceleration. We have to find this acceleration, and you know that since this is a speed time graph, the acceleration is basically the gradient of the line. And in order to find the gradient of the line, we need to consider 2 points. So this is our first point. The value of x at this point is u. The value of y is u. So the point is 0 comma u. And the second point is this point in which the value of x is 10 and the value of y is 3u. So this point is 10 3u. So we have our 2 points. So we are labeling this point as x1 and y1. This is our first point. So this is x1 and this is y1. This is x2 and the value of y2 is 3u. So we know the formula for the gradient. The gradient is y2 minus y1. So 3u minus u divided by 10 minus 0. So 3u minus u will give me 2u and divided by 10 minus 0 is 10. So 2 upon u upon 10, and on simplification 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 5 is 10. So the answer of the first part in which we have to find an expression in terms of u is u upon 5 meter per second square. The second part says the distance traveled by a cyclist from t is equals to 0 and to t is equals to 10 is 40 meters. So the distance is given to us. We know that the area under the graph is the distance. So the distance is given to us, that is 40 meter. The cyclist is covering a distance of 40 meter and we have to find the value of u. So since the distance is given, so we will be starting with the distance concept, and we know that the area under the curve is a trapezium because this complete area from here till here is forming a trapezium. So we will use the area of trapezium formula and we will equate it with 40 since we know the area to find the value of u. So the formula is area is equals to half times sum of parallel sides multiplied by height. This is the formula for the area of trapezium. So since the area is given, so area is 40, so I will write 40 in place of area, half multiplied by these two are the parallel sides. This is side number 1 and this is side number 2. These two are parallel sides. The length of this side is u and the length of this side is 3u. So u plus 3u, these are the two parallel sides. First one is u, the second one is 3u. So since we have to find the sum, so u plus 3u bracket multiply by height of the trapezium, and we know that the height is the distance between the two parallel lines. So since this and this are the two parallel lines, the distance between these two parallel lines is the height, and that is equals to 10. So I have used height as 10. 3u will give me 4u, and then this is 10 equals to 40. So what will I do next? I will just shift this 10 on this side because this 2 and 4 will get cancelled out. So 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 2 is 4. So this will be 2u, and this 10, since it is being multiplied on this side, it will go on the other side and get divided by 4. So this will be 40 divided by 10, that will be equals to 4, and this u will be shifted on the other side and it will be divided with 4 to give me the answer of u, that is coming out as 2. So the your speed at the beginning, the speed at the start is u. So u is equals to 2 means this is 2 meter per second. So if this is 2 meter per second, this is 3u. So this will become 6. We just have to draw the distance time graph in the last part, and we know the total distance, right? I told you in the previous question that when we have to convert a speed time graph into a distance time graph, you know the distance. You should know the distance of all the phases since there is only one phase. So I know the complete distance, that is 40 meters. And since this is acceleration, the speed is increasing. So there is a constant acceleration over here since this is a straight line, and we know that when we have to show acceleration on a distance time graph, we will use a curve that is going upwards. So since we know the distance, the total distance is 40, and how much time does it take to complete this 40 meter, that is 10. it is mentioned in the question. So I will take a point like this 10 and 40. I will just mark a point like this, and I will use a curve like this to draw the distance time graph. Why? Because there is some acceleration. The speed of the car is increasing, so that's why I'm using a curve. We talk about this concept in the first video of kinematics, where we discuss about the different scenarios of distance and speed time graph. This is basically the conversion, and this curve shows that the speed of the object is increasing. And why it is increasing? Because there is a constant acceleration.